Okay, it should give you a little sharing up or a recording okay option. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for being here. On the screen is our packed agenda. We appreciate everyone's time. Let's see here. Wait, is it recording? Did it ask you guys to?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Okay, we're going to start off. If you are just joining us, please introduce yourself in the chat. And we're going to start off with 5th grade teachers. We have Monica Tapia, Heidi Van Brunt, and I'm not sure, is Miss Bennett here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome, Samantha Bennett. So take it away, 5th grade teachers.
We're like, who's going to go first?
Yeah, we have a slide just to kind of keep us on track. And then if anybody has any questions, we can address them. Who wants to present the slide?
Monica, do you have one?
Yes.
I'm like looking at it for practicing my lines.
Perfect.
I can just start if you want me to, Heidi, Monica. I'll just go
for it, Sam. Jump in there.
To jump in then.
Yeah.
So 5th graders, they're doing a lot of more leadership roles at the school. So we've got the morning announcements that they're taking over, which is super fun. And then we have safety patrol, our big 5th grade thing that they love to do. And Adopt-a-Pet, which happens on our full day Fridays. The kiddos, the 5th graders are helping to, fill up the Adopt-a-Pet case and deliver them out to the kids who win in the little raffle for Adopt-a-Pet. So that's super fun. Any other leadership things that we thought of that I didn't say?
They're kind of helping
random jobs. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Randomly able to help out where needed when setting up for events or passing out supplies to other classrooms. And so it's been really cool to see them really want to help out and want to step into those leadership roles.
Yeah. Awesome. Monica, do you want to talk about OBOB? I feel like I'm not as in that one.
Yeah, OBOB has been really fun. So we have about 5 5th grade teams and a 3rd grade team participating, but it's been really cool to see these kids get this love of reading, and it's spread to other kids. Other kids are also excited to cheer these teams on and to help work with them. And so we've had our first battle today. 2 5th grade teams battled it out in the library. And it was really cool to see the kids go in kind of nervous, but come out really excited. And we'll be battling some more. So these kids have been reading a list of books that was put out by a state committee and quizzing each other and working together both at school and after hours. And so to see that love of reading has been really cool. That takes us kind of right into our next reading challenge. Heidi, if you want that one.
You know what? I think Sam should have this one, and yeah, I'll go next. But Sam is the one that really kind of orchestrated this. So Sam found some cool stuff for us. So Sam, do you mind talking about the challenge?
Yeah, no. So I thought it would be fun to have us 4 or 5 together doing a reading challenge. So the kids are doing like a nightly reading, but upping the ante a bit for the month of February. And then they're working together as a whole class to try to get reading minutes achieved so it's a group effort together. And at the end of the month, they get these fun little treats. So I reached out to some local Crumbles, not necessarily local. I apologize for that one, but Prince Bucklers is local. And so the kids will be getting these fun little like free ice cream scoop coupons. And then they also get to have some crumble cookies at the end of the month for us all making our minutes. So trying to make it really fun. And just, yeah, I was really stoked about it. The kids seem really excited to be doing it. And they're all like, what's happening? What's going to be at the end of the month? I'm so excited. Yeah. So I think maybe Miss Van Brunt has given away the secret surprise.
I didn't know it was a secret.
That's
But they're
okay.
like, my kids are pumped to work for their crumble cookies. And Sam, when she's offered to pick them up. So the Prince Bucklers, they're going to have to go and get it and they'll have the coupons, but we're going to actually bring the crumble cookies to the kids. And so many of our kids have not experienced, for better or for worse, the joy that is that place. So yeah, so they
All
are
joy.
pumped.
All joy. They're gonna be so
All
excited.
joy. Yeah. And speaking of joyous things, fifth grade promotion, of course, this year. And but we don't have a lot to say about that just because COVID protocols are continually changing. And of course, this is a special time for fifth graders and certainly a special time for fifth grade families. So we want to make it special. We want to have a to-do about it. We're just not sure what that to-do is going to look like, whether that's going to be an outdoor kind of thing where we can get people together, or if it's going to be, last year we had to have like car parade and we did memory books and stuff last year. So it's just kind of contingent on what COVID protocols are at the time. But the more that we can celebrate our fifth graders with their families, the more we would like to, because, you know, this is a milestone. And for some of you guys, it's the first time that you're having a kid move into middle school. So that's, you know, I find I've been at this for a minute and I find it's always more anxiety producing for the parents, believe it or not, than it is for the adults. So this is, but in anyways, Liza, it's a really special time. So we do want to celebrate them. We do plan to celebrate them. We're just not sure what that's going to look like yet. And so we've already talked about getting together after spring break. We'll have a better idea of what June is going to look like at that time. And then we'll message it out to our fifth grade families to, you know, solicit support and anything that they can do to help make it special and to be a part of it. So that one's kind of a ... to be continued conversation, but we did want to let you know that it's on our radar. Speaking of other special fifth grade things, we do have the human growth and development talk in fifth grade. We use the Great Body Shop, which is the district adopted curriculum. It's going to be available for preview before we have the human growth and development talk. It's not very graphic, not very detailed, but we do talk about the human body. We do talk about the female body. We do talk about the male body. We do name all the parts. And all of that curriculum will be available for preview up at the office, or of course, fifth grade parents can talk to their teachers directly and we can send it home in a sealed envelope. And I mean, usually it's all very smooth and stuff. It doesn't, it doesn't go in depth to the things that families can be talking about with their kids. This is more just very factual information, but we invite you to preview the materials. We do that in the spring as well. So we'll do it after spring break. So you have some time, and we'll give you a heads up before that too. We'll message out on Seaside, hey, human growth and development unit is coming up. If you'd like to preview the materials, then come preview the materials. There's not a lot of eye contact that happens in the class during that time, in case you're curious as to what it looks like from a teacher perspective, but it's valuable knowledge. So yeah, and then state testing, everybody's favorite thing. Anybody want to take that one? Or
Oh gosh.
I can keep going.
I was gonna say that's another ... too, because we just we don't know if it's gonna be modified like it was last year. If we know, I mean, fifth graders usually get the added bonus of a science state test on top of the reading and math, but what that looks like, we also kind of don't know. I mean, we haven't really been told. We'll probably know more about that after spring break as well, because we usually start that in April, if I'm not mistaken. Late April, maybe early April. It all is a big whirlwind because it's kind of a lot there at the end of the time. But Heidi, I don't know. We don't really know much else.
Yeah,
about
and Our admin will get information from the state, and then our admin will share it out to us, and then we'll share it out to parents. But again, as always, there will be an opt-out option for parents that don't want their kids taking the state test for whatever reason. You don't need a reason. And we'll, those forms will be available in the office or online as well. And then, but when we know, you'll know. And as we come up with the details, you'll hear the details. Last year, they did a modified version and they did not share the results with schools or families. So, which was pretty interesting. So I don't know what the plan is this year. I haven't heard from ODE on it. And yeah, so that's a ... too, as Sam said.
The great thing about this is that our fifth graders are so resilient and so flexible and have been so patient. And so as changes arise, they've been just kind of go with the flow, and they've been a great group.
Yeah, they're better at it than we are by far, I think. So anyhow, that's kind of the more salient points of fifth grade at this time. And if anybody has any questions that they want to throw out to the group, we're open to them. And also, if you have any questions that you want to DM your teachers, you're also welcome to, always.
Anyone have any questions for our wonderful fifth grade teachers?
Is there any fifth grade dual specific information parents should know?
I will have more information coming up soon, another ... about transfer forms. And so we will need transfer forms. I'm going to look a little bit to Crystal about this one, but last spring, they did give us paperwork at the school level to send out to parents because you will need to fill out some transfer forms before middle school. And we will have those for you, and I will have more information soon.
So Monica, to clarify, even if it's our home school, we still need to fill out paperwork.
I believe so.
Okay.
For the dual programs.
Specifically for the dual. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone have any more questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm Krista. I just have a few questions about the human growth and development portion of what's coming up after spring break. And just, I've heard a lot of buzz, and my oldest kid is only in third grade, and I've heard a lot of buzz about how teachers and schools and districts talk about sex during these training or portion of the school year. And I don't know if there's anything you can say about that. I know that it's kind of different based on districts. I don't know. It's always, as a parent, it's kind of, I guess, nerve-wracking maybe a little bit to think about what are my kids going to hear at school.
Sure. And so, Krista, it doesn't talk about sex at all. But even if your kid's in third grade, we have the issues already. So if you want to preview it now.
Looks like Heidi froze. The issue actually is called like our growing and changing body. So it talks specifically about naming the body parts, and it goes specifically into body functions of how the female body grows, how the male body grows. It talks more about periods and puberty and functions of the body is mostly what it goes into.
Thank you.
And Krista, my internet glitched out for a second. I hope I wasn't making a weird face when it did, like I always am. But we already have the issues now. So if you want to preview them now, if it would help allay any anxiety that you have around it, then I would encourage you to do so, just because it's really just factual body stuff, and it doesn't get into that sex intercourse of any kind.
Okay, great. Thanks for letting me know that. I think there's a lot out there happening at different levels of different grades. So it's just great to hear what's happening at Guy Lee. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I have a question about in part of the testing, is there state testing that's dual?
We will be doing stamp testing very soon, and that's dual specific. And so the whole dual program from K through 5. And up into the middle school, we'll be doing some stamp testing. Once we have dates, we just received a training on that. We'll get some dates soon. But that will be happening. So that's not state testing, that's program specific testing. Our ELD students will be doing ELPA testing very soon. Yeah, so we will, I don't know how soon we'll get results from stamp testing. We did it 2 years ago, was our first time doing it. So our experience with the stamp test is not, we don't have a lot of experience with the stamp testing, but we'll get some in soon. Crystal might have more info on that one.
Any more questions?
I have one question. There was mention about the added like science testing, right, for 5th graders. And I'm just wondering, like, I've never, like, when we come to curriculum nights, science isn't ever mentioned, I feel like. And maybe I've missed it. And I do know they've seen science. Like I remember when they were online, you know, there was a lot of, in the dual class, there was a bunch of reading about science. But is there a specific science curriculum?
We don't have a specific science curriculum. I would say that science is more embedded into other areas. And so, for example, in the dual classroom currently, through Maravillas, we're learning around like constellations and talking about the solar system. And so that's kind of where this is embedded. Last week and during Maravillas, we talked about archaeologists and learning about history and learning about how the past, how archaeologists work and what are their tools. And so that's where a lot of our science talk and discussions come from, but we do not have a science curriculum per se.
More questions? And I appreciate Krista's question just in general, because this is exactly what we're hoping for, is that even if you don't have a kiddo in the specific grade level, you know, of the teachers we've invited, at least you know what's coming up. So it's great to ask questions just in general, even if you don't have that, you know, right, for example, right now, a 5th grader. Last chance for 5th grade questions. We appreciate your time, 5th grade parents. And just a reminder, there will be some time at the end for a chat with the principal as well. So if you guys think of stuff, they might be able to answer Josh and Bambi. Okay, Monica, could you stop sharing your screen, please? Thank you. Okay. So now we're going to invite Crystal Sundstrom to give a quick update for the dual immersion program.
Good evening, everybody, and I'm going to share my screen. So give me just a second to get that going. Okay, so my name is Crystal Sundstrom, and it is a pleasure to be here tonight. And if I have not met you directly, it's quite possible that I've met one of your children. Tonight, I'm going to share a few different announcements, a quick update about enrollment, specifically questions around 5th grade transition, also just updates about our staffing, and then sharing a quick update about a community event that our district puts on, and then finally closing with more information about the stamp test. And I'll save some time for questions at the end too. Okay. Oops. And I have, oh, go ahead.
We're going to talk really slowly because I think Danny's translating.
Okay, excellent. And I have slides in English and Spanish, so I'll flip partway through. So some updates on enrollment. Each year we start accepting applications for the following year in January, and we have an open enrollment during the month of January. We have another open enrollment period during April. And then beyond that, during the summertime, if there is still space available, we continue accepting applications, specifically for kindergarten and first grade. And so far, we just finished our first application window, and we already have 14 kindergarten students who have submitted applications for next year. So that's really great. And as well as a first grader. So that's good news that we have people interested in joining the program. In terms of the transition to 6th grade from 5th grade, yes, all 5th graders in the dual program will need to submit a dual application for next year. And that's even if you're living in the school boundary areas, they actually have all students resubmit enrollment paperwork to transition from elementary to middle school. And so for us in the dual program, you do submit that application again. As Monica mentioned, we will make sure you get all of the paperwork with plenty of time to submit it. I already have seen several parents have already submitted the paperwork in January. So thank you for being proactive and getting that done. But we have plenty of time for that, and we will make sure that it happens in a timely fashion. Okay, that's the information in Spanish. Okay, and then staff updates. So I'm happy to be here tonight, and I am sorry that it's taken me so long to show up to a PTO meeting. I started this job at the beginning of last year, and I just want to acknowledge the challenges that we've faced in the dual program with staffing due to COVID and distance learning, as well as the joys of we have had 3 new babies from teachers in the dual program since the beginning of last year. So joyous news for our families, and yet that has had an impact on our program and the teaching within our program. So I want to honor the hard work of the teachers and the staff who have stepped up and stepped into new roles. I also want to appreciate the grace and flexibility of our families as we've dealt with all of this, and just acknowledge that it's been a year and a half of many challenges. Just some new updates. Our 4th grade teacher, Jessica Mesa, she is currently out on maternity leave, and Sandra Bautista is now teaching 4th grade. Sandra Bautista began this year teaching 3rd grade to cover for Becca Long, our 3rd grade teacher, out on maternity leave. Becca Long has returned, but only for half days. So we are currently hiring for the afternoon portion of that day. And then in the meantime, we will have Nicole Norris covering the afternoon, because so far it's been kind of different people each day, just depending on what our substitute situation looked like. I've been in there a few times and I've had fun, but the students really do need some consistency. So we're going to have Nicole covering the afternoon while we hire for the rest of the school year. Okay. And then on to our community event. Every year, the Springfield School District coordinates this event to honor Dolores Huerta and Cesar Chavez, who are 2 really important activists. So we will be launching a website in honor of this celebration with resources and activities for families to do. There will also be an art and essay contest, and all students who participate will receive a free book in recognition of their work. So it's a fun way for individual students as well as our dual classes to get involved and create art and writing in honor of this celebration. We also will have several students from the dual program, 4th and 5th graders, who will be conducting an interview with Carmen Urbina, who is a local community activist who has done a lot of work in our community over the years. So those, that's something to look forward to. The website will be launched in the next few weeks, definitely before the beginning of March. And we'll have updates in terms of the art and essay contest and the student interview. Okay, and then finally the stamp test. So as Monica mentioned, this will be our second time administering this test. The first time was the year before COVID. This test, it's computer-based. It's adaptive for the multiple choice sections. So students are given questions that target their ability level. So they don't get anything too hard or too easy. And it's a test of general Spanish proficiency. So it's not connected directly to the curriculum we use. It's more so how are students able to communicate and what is their general vocabulary that they've learned. The results really are intended to help us grow as a program. So we can look at that data, we can see where there are any gaps in terms of instruction, which skills we might need to focus on more, and things like that. The results will be, so the listening and reading results will be available fairly immediately after the test. The speaking and writing they're graded by people, and that takes a few weeks to get those results back. Let's see. Just in thinking about this test, it's not really a test that you study for. So students definitely shouldn't be stressing out at all. It's really just a chance to show up and think about what they've learned so far and demonstrate their ability. The score reports that go out to individual students are really nice, though. They kind of break down the general proficiency levels and what you can expect students to know and be able to do at those proficiency levels. For elementary, we're still definitely in the beginning novice range. And one thing that's important to remember is we can be at novice for a while because there are just different pockets of vocabulary and different topics that we're learning about. And so there's a lot of time that you can spend learning about all of those different topics and building vocabulary, but not necessarily advancing to a higher proficiency level. So this test is really good information for us as a program. We can look back and track progress for students and their growth from year to year. And it also does give us information about individual student progress. So we'll be administering the test in the next 2 weeks. So probably starting next week and then the following week finishing up. In terms of how long it takes, each section, the reading and the listening will be about a 30-minute section, and then the speaking and writing is about 15 to 20 minutes each. And we'll schedule it so they're not sitting there doing all of it at once. We'll break it up into different sessions. Okay, and oh, did I lose? Nope, there we go. So if anybody has any questions, go right ahead. My email address is right here at the bottom. If you ever have any questions about the program or how your student is doing, please reach out to me. I'm happy to touch base with you. I'm happy to give, just check in about how your student is doing and give suggestions on how you can support your students at home with their language learning also.
Crystal, I have a question. Are you the coordinator for the whole, now that we've expanded into middle school? I was just wondering specifically about 7th grade and when the planning is going to start for high school, because I feel like that needs to be something maybe that starts happening this spring.
Mm-hmm.
And so does your umbrella cover middle school, or do you have any information about that?
I am only Guy Lee coordinator, and then our middle school coordinator is also the middle school dual immersion teacher. So that is Sergio Cano Soto, and he is doing an amazing job, but we will need to address that soon because he started off last year teaching only 6th grade and serving the other part of his time as coordinator. Now he's teaching 2 grades. That's pretty full time. Next year, there will be 3 grades to teach. And so we will need to fill in some of that, some of those needs. And along with that would be more coordination as well. So I know about all phases of the program, but I'm based at Guiley and responsible for Guiley.
Okay.
And yes, you're absolutely right. High school is coming very quickly. It's right around the corner. And so we do need to be working on that. And that brings up another good update. We will actually be having a listening session with our Springfield administrators from the district office with the dual teachers next week. So they want to hear how the program is going from the teacher perspective and kind of on the ground, what the challenges are and what the needs are. And so that will give us a chance to communicate some of those upcoming issues.
Thank you. Because I know Jose, has Springfield High School officially been chosen, or is that still okay? Because I know Jose, the principal at Springfield, was a little like, oh my gosh, they're already 7th graders. And that was kind of worrying that he didn't know that. So yeah, it's good to hear that there's some communication happening now.
Yes.
Krista, I have a question about that, the middle school program as well. So if Sergio is teaching 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and it's social studies, language arts, correct?
Social studies, language arts, yes. And he's not teaching 8th grade this year.
I know,
So,
but
yeah.
Did you say he will be teaching 8th grade down the road? Like, that's a lot of preps for one person. That's 6 preps.
Right, I know. No, I was saying that we're going to need to figure it out because next year, I don't think he will be able to cover that much of a load.
Okay, I just wasn't clear on that. Like you said, I wasn't sure if you meant coordination would be taken care of, or you'd be looking for another teacher, or how you gonna take that.
I think we'll need to look, this is me just knowing kind of how it's working. I think that we'll need to look for more on another teacher. He's been able to handle the coordination aspect because it's really just making sure the 5th graders are transitioning to 6th grade and making sure that enrollment paperwork is taken care of. And he communicates with parents and things, but it's not the same degree of coordination that happens at the elementary level. But he definitely can't do it all. So, and I think even if the coordination isn't so much, he's still teaching 2 grades is a full-time job. So we'll definitely be needing to have more teaching staff.
Thank you.
Crystal, this is Elizabeth, and I know that in past years, the pre-COVID years, we had some, meetings early in the calendar year that were specific dual language program meetings. And some of it was to talk about, how to get, helping parents getting their, kids enrolled in kindergarten and 1st grade. And then just sort of, then another, about the whole program. And I think that parents who've been involved are missing that this year. And I was wondering if there's sort of going to be any opportunity for a dual language program, meeting that parents can attend in some fashion.
Right. And yes, absolutely. I hope so. And I know since I started last year, we haven't really done anything for parents. Part of that is, COVID and not being able to have in-person events, but also just it's been a challenging year and a half. And we've had some of our leadership from the program have moved on to other things. And so there's been a lot of change happening, and some of the pieces that were in place in the past have kind of disintegrated. And so we're now in a place where we need to start bringing that back. And so I definitely hear you, and I want to be moving towards that again. And I also will say, if there are specific questions that you have, that, you know, there's enough parents that are interested in hearing about that, to communicate with me, and I can proactively plan things like that. Just as a kind of general course of what we've been doing, it's fallen to the wayside, but it's definitely something we need to be bringing back. You know, we in the past have had orientation meetings for incoming kinders, and we haven't had that in the past 2 years. So definitely pieces need to be brought back that were in place before.
Thanks.
Yes.
Well, and on that note, I would think that for the kids moving to 5th grade to middle school, it might be nice for parents to meet Sergio.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, and that's the one thing that we did do last year. We did have a 5th grade meeting for 5th grade parents, and it was via Zoom, but Sergio was there. I don't remember if Monica was there or not, just talking about the transition, and that happened in the spring. So we'll definitely be planning for that.
And I'll just reiterate that you do have a group of parents here that really care about it. And so if you ever need us to do anything, likewise ask us. We're just invested. Being a community supported program, you know, we were always told that it is not Guy Lee's program, it is a district program. And so families feel like really invested and attached to it and want to see it succeed. And we were meeting for a while, you know, like how to grow it and how to make sure the word gets out. Because I honestly still meet families who do not know that Springfield School District has a dual immersion program, and it's embarrassing or shameful, or I don't know what the word is, but I'm ready to help. You know, how can parents help get the word out? And especially I come from it from like, you know, from English learners who might have extra barriers to getting information. I think it's really our responsibility to make sure that we get the word out, that there's a program to support both English learners and folks who want their kids to learn Spanish. So.
Absolutely. And thank you for saying that. And I really appreciate your energy and commitment to the program and for being willing to participate and support it so much. And parents are the key to any program being successful, especially this one. So I really appreciate it. And I do also want to acknowledge that there was a lot of work that went into the planning, and then, you know, over the first few years, and then it seemed to sort of reach a stable point, and then and then COVID happened, you know, and so it seems like some of the things that were in place are not currently, and we need to build back to that. So thank you.
And a note that PTO is definitely an advocate, but Crystal, it's nice to hear that maybe we can have some separate meetings, because we want to acknowledge that not all PTO members are part of dual, and you know, so we want to be advocates and we really want to push for communication. But at the same time, I know there's been some communication as far as wanting to have those meetings, and we'd like to encourage those, but you know, we can't take necessarily like every PTO meeting to do. Although that said, we'd love to have you if you want to come and give like a quick, you know, few minute update or anything that you want to share. But it would be great, like Marcia said, to have a separate meeting, because you do have a lot of interested parents and support.
Yes, thank you. And our kindergarten enrollment numbers, I think, are for January looking very strong because of all of you helping to promote and spread the word. So I know that you've mentioned it in meetings and shared it out. And so I think that that has played a role too. So we really appreciate your work there.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Crystal.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Jenna Harry is going to now talk about Title I, the Title I program.
Hello, I'm Jana Harry. I'm the Title I coordinator at Guy Lee. I put together a little video showing what Title I is. I think Josh said he was going to play it. Are you going to do that, Josh?
I'd be happy to do that for you.
Thank you so much. I don't hear the audio. Is there no audio?
Let me try to solve that here.
You're the man.
While Josh is trouble, that's okay. I'll speak a little bit, Josh, while you're just tell me to shut up when you're ready. Just a few things. We invite you to invite one new person in March. Our next meeting is going to be March 8th for PTO. It's the second Tuesday of every month. And a personal invitation to invite someone, and kid, friends, mom, send a text, an email. Please like us on Facebook, and we'd love to have you involved in however you want to be involved. Donating money, donating time, connecting us with community resources. So just a little push for liking PTO on Facebook and get involved.
All right, I'm gonna try again. Jana, will you give me a thumbs up if you can hear it?
Okay,
Welcome to Title I, Part A.
I can hear it.
Elementary. Hi, my name is Jana Harry. I'm the Title I coordinator at Guy Lee. I want to invite you to learn more about our Title I program. Title I is the largest federally funded program for schools. It is designed to generate high levels of student achievement in core academic areas. Our team of 6 provides additional reading support to students who need help. At Guy Lee, the services take place in our reading classroom during Tiger Time. You may be wondering what Title I Part A is. It is a federal program under the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA. Funding is determined based on our free and reduced lunch count. A qualifying school may then receive additional funds to support programs including parent involvement activities, additional professional development for teachers, and primarily for supplemental academic support for students at risk of failing academic standards such as reading. Because we have a school-wide program, any student who qualifies for extra support can participate regardless of their free and reduced lunch status. Students are typically selected for additional reading support at Guy Lee based on test scores below 20% and teacher input. If your child is selected to receive services, you will be notified about eligibility. In the past, our supplemental reading program has been taught through small group pull-out instruction using highly trained adults outside of the student's regular classroom reading time. We look forward to partnering with you to help all of our students improve in reading. Under the Elementary Secondary Education Act, or ESEA, you have several rights that show on this slide. We invite you to participate at Guy Lee and to ask questions if you need assistance. We are all part of the Tiger Pack. Another important part of our program has to do with you. It's the parent involvement portion. We organize family literacy events each year. These events are expected to look different this year due to social distancing guidelines. We encourage you to watch for these event notices and to participate as you can. We are currently organizing an upcoming Spirit Week and Book Fair to promote literacy. Students will be encouraged to dress as characters from selected books. It's not your typical year by any means, but with a little determination, patience, and support, I believe we can all have a great year.
Thank you for sharing that, Josh.
You're so welcome.
If there's any questions, you can ask me now. Any questions about Title I, the Title I program? We're here to help struggling readers. We give an assessment in the fall, and we identify the kids that are at the bottom 20% and bring them into our classroom and have small group instruction to help them with their reading skills. I think my video was so good that it answered all the questions.
Thank you. Last chance for questions, Title I. Thank you, Jana, for your time. Okay, let's see here. We specifically made our PTO time shorter because we knew there would be a lot for dual and title. So just a couple other things before we get to the chat with the principal. I already talked about inviting someone new to the March meeting, and then Chris is going to talk briefly about snack packs that she's heading up for spring break.
Hi, yeah, there's a couple of us on our PTO team that are really excited about supporting Guy Lee and creating snack packs for, it looks like almost half of the students at Guy Lee will need some kind of snack and food support during the break. Over winter break, we had 17 days and about 75 kids who needed 2 snacks per day. So when you added it up, it came to about 2,500 snacks. And it looks like over spring break, we have 10 days. And we're going to shoot for almost 150 students, I think, this time that will need the support. So we are working hard to find donations for these snacks, as well as volunteers who want to help put the snacks together and organize them in different ways. So I accidentally put it in the chat a little early, but you can see the list of individually packaged items that we are looking for in the chat above. And then there's also a link to a volunteer form that you can sign up to help, whether it's wanting to donate items or helping organize or helping to pack the items. So if you fill out that form, I or someone else on our team will get back to you on the specifics on that.
Awesome. And I can put that on, Krista, if you share those with me, I can put those on Facebook. And maybe Bambi, we could put those in the Tiger newsletter that I type up, the PTO info. So awesome. It's a lot of work, and Krista has been amazing heading that up. It's no small feat. So thank you for doing that, Krista. Jackie, question.
Yeah, sorry, on meeting. Whatever happened, I had talked to somebody from Food for Lane County over winter, right before we were doing the snack pack, and they said that they have a specific program available that was available to our school, and they were going to get in touch with either Josh or Bambi. But it seems like I mean, I'm grateful for the work, but it seems like Food for Lane County would also take care of that for us if we applied to the program. And like I said, I spoke to the woman several times. I have a couple of emails from her, but she said, oh yeah, I'll reach out to your school because you used to be a part of our program, but you're no longer. I mean, is that something that we don't want to do because we weren't happy with the food they were supplying, or is there?
No, we are receiving snack packs from them through that program. Unfortunately, they're only able to provide 50 per week. So we have 100 identified students at this time, and it's on an every other week basis that they're receiving weekend snacks.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any more questions about snack packs? Awesome. All right, thank you, Krista. So I'm gonna let Elizabeth talk in just a second, super quick about finances. I got a pasta lunch donated for the entire staff on Friday from the Olive Garden, which is saving us a lot of money and a lot of time. Like, the woman there is amazing. She was like, sure, I'll give you 2 lunches. So we're doing one in February, one in May for the whole 60 staff. They're even doing, I think we have 5 staff members that are gluten-free. So they're accommodating those teachers and staff. And It's easy peasy. I pick it up. We're gonna drop it off to Josh and Bambi. They're gonna serve it up right after the kids leave on Friday. And then what we're currently looking at collecting is stuff for goodie bags. And this would be for classified staff appreciation. However, we want to celebrate the whole staff. So we're going to try to create 62 goodie bags, gum, granola bars, chocolate. We will put it in the chat and I'll put it on Facebook. We'll also send it out in the Tiger newsletter. So if you want to sign up for something by the end of the month, provide 62 of something, Costco, if you would like to make a cash donation, but we'd like to give our show the staff some love and get them some yummy treats and goodies. So if you would like to donate something, feel free to add something that you think of on the sheet. And maybe I'll put it in the chat real quick while Elizabeth is talking.
I just put it in there,
Oh,
Sarah.
awesome. Thank you.
So for us, just want to give everybody like current finance. We have $739.67 in our checking account at the moment. We did this month submit our application to the IRS for recognition of exemption under 501c3, which then it will give us the more formal recognition and letter that we need to do some fundraising that we are limited in being able to do until we actually get that designation back from the IRS. So that did cost us $275. We had $35 in office supply costs, and we had $72 in supplies that went into the students' goodie bags before they went out on Christmas break. So that's what our current finances are at the moment. Does anybody have questions? And actually by the next, I hope to by the next meeting actually have a balance sheet that then we can all view. I'm working on getting us into some more formal financial looking documents. I'm just not quite there yet.
Okay. Questions about staff appreciation or finances?
Can I just comment that we, the staff, really appreciate the staff appreciation.
Hey.
So thank you for all of your
Yeah, we're trying to do something every month, and hot drinks were last month, and I forgot to I'm trying to remember to take pictures that I can share on social media. But we appreciate you guys, Crystal, and so glad you guys are enjoying this. Okay, Jackie or Elizabeth, we're gonna do a free raffle. We had a bike last month. This month we have $50 to Cornucopia. I believe you can use it at either of the 3 locations.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I have everybody who are in our audience. So I'm going to spin Dion. You are the winner.
Yay.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'll get it to you, Dion. I was say drop it off in the office, but you and I can connect. Amazing. This is left over from last year when Jackie did an amazing job of soliciting donations from local businesses. So thank you, Jackie, for that. Okay, put it on your calendar, second Tuesday of every month. Today's the 8th, and our next meeting will also be the 8th. Did you put that last link in the chat, Elizabeth?
I did.
Thank you. So if you would like to give us our information, if you haven't already, if you'd like to be involved, again, it doesn't have to just be money. It could be time. It could be connecting us with community resources. Emily couldn't make it tonight, but she's been trying to contact some other businesses and restaurants to try to get other stuff donated for other teacher appreciation. So any way you'd like to be involved, we'd love to have you as part of PTO. Any last minute PTO questions before we stop recording?
I just had one more question.
Jackie.
This is about Snack Pack again. Didn't we work with OCCU also in the past where they like funded a bunch of our stuff? Has anybody reached out to them to see if they're available?
They did fund it before when I was helping.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we could reconnect with them for donations or help.
Yeah, they used to do both, donations and then help. They were part of our bag filling crew. I don't know, how does that happen anymore?
Elizabeth, do you know if we had a contact at the bank? Like, is there somebody that we worked with or that we should get back in touch with?
I will have to ask. I did not work with them directly, but I know who did, so I can ask them.
Great questions like always, Jackie. We so appreciate everyone being here. I'm going to stop recording, but please don't leave if you have any. Yes.
Sorry, this is Amber. I just wanted to add something really fast about the book fair and just let you guys know that there is an upcoming book fair. I miss Amber in the library, but I'm also a mom. So we will have a book fair on March 14th to the 17th. So it'll be those 4 days. There won't be any outside people coming in. So there will be an e-wallet that I'm going to do for parents that they can send money for the kids to shop that already have it. An easy way so they're not bringing cash in, or they can bring cash in and they're going to be doing their shopping during their library time. So I just wanted to make a quick announcement for you guys so you know that that's upcoming.
Thank you, Miss Amber. Thank you for being
you.
here. Thanks for wearing 2 hats and thanks for being here. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop recording. Please don't leave if you have any questions for the principals. Really informal, great time to also get some more info.